humans! I am Doll Cecil Renaud, the partially blind alien from a distant galaxy who is a known voices author, and today I'm not alone. Look who I have with me. Well, you can only see one picture and one face, but it's the same thing. You know these people, or don't you? If you don't know them, I don't know what the heck you're doing. We cannot be friends until you know these people, because they are my brothers.
Shit.
They are my brothers. So my goal of this stream is honestly just getting Marco to 100 subscribers.
Well,
Hi. Hello, Lucky. Nice to see you.
a fine goal like any other.
No, that's a blind mage. Hello, blind mage. The StreamYard is jumping again. Oh, hi, blind mage. I know Loki's coming. That's why I was expecting Loki. Hey, Marco, you're doing double duty in the chat, and this is hard for a blind person. Hello, Lauren. Nice to see you here. Divided by side. Hi. This should be fun. It will be fun. I promise it will be fun. And like I said, the links to these two gentlemen are in the description of the stream. So if you haven't subscribed to their channels, I don't know what you're doing, and you better fix that, because otherwise we are not friends. Introduce yourselves, guys.
Well, I am the animated sibling of Dao, who is not an alien.
I am an alien. Sure. Oh, you are not the alien. Yeah, you are my animated human.
Well, that's relative. He's an alien compared from your point of view. You're an alien from his.
Yeah.
Aliens. It's all relative.
It's all
relative.
And we are all
the tagline of our sitcom.
Yeah, and we're all relatives here. Who are you, by the way, Ghost?
Oh, I'm the black sheep of this particular family because I took up a third dimension. Going against the wishes of the family, I decided to corporealize myself, and here I am, for your pleasure this afternoon, squished into this very little corner.
Okay.
If I drift just a little bit this way.
Maybe we can fix this.
Oh!
There.
Oh,
itty-bitty living space.
The
wonders of technology.
The wonders of this alien finally knowing. Hello, Burrito Chris. We were waiting for you.
Oh, there you are.
Hello, Mary Wimbley. Thank you for joining us. We still don't have a plan.
Hello, Mary. No, there are no plans. It's
we never have a plan.
We just have checklists.
We have a checklist
if there's
of
no
things.
plan, nothing can go wrong. I think that's what they said at Gallipoli.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, now you've said it.
Internet lag.
It had to be said.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a
ghost.
Marco Log, you have a new subscriber. Hello, Max World Entertainment. Thank you for joining us. We don't have a plan, like I said, but we are here and we will have fun. And the first thing that we had in mind, because we are apparently the bad guys of AuthorTube, aren't we?
Yes.
I mean, Sean is evidently a bad guy. You can hear that. You can see that. He looks like a villain. He sounds like a villain. He acts like... But I am the type of villain who's all cute and nice until you throw in a Micah Stauffer and then you see my volcanic rage.
And I don't know what category I would fit into. I'm just a master planner who's the best friend until eventually my scheme just pops out like a DM in a D&D game.
You are kind of similar to me in the sense that you don't look like a villain, you don't act like a villain, but something goes wrong and there is Marco and no one expected that. So there you are.
I'm getting if this was like one of those country house murder Agatha Christie style stories, everybody for the first 2 acts would be looking at me as being the villain, and then it would turn out to be one of you two. I am the red herring.
Or maybe it was all of us.
Yes, it's Murder on the Orient Express style.
Discovery streamers, yes, Eva, and thank you for being here. Welcome.
Hello,
to
Eva.
Welcome, everyone.
Yeah, welcome, everybody. I don't even know what's happening. Come out,
Come
wherever you
me,
are.
And you'll be in a world of terminal procrastination.
Finally, he's singing. We made it.
I'm here on my own. There's no one here, so I can do what I like.
I see.
Excuse
Well,
me.
this is, well, no, not around this time, but at like around in 2 hours time would be AuthorTube karaoke. That's the regular time. No, wait, hang on, 3 hours. 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm not doing the math properly today. I am the villain who cannot do math. But usually the karaoke party starts like in 3 hours time from now, so it would be like 9 p.m. UK, so you can join us for the karaoke next time, please.
Well, we will see. But I do like the idea of a numerically illiterate supervillain who makes their demands against the government, but puts the decimal point in the wrong place. So does it for like $1.50? You can have the president's daughter back for $1.50, and so it's the easiest. It's a bit embarrassing for them, but they'll get there.
I don't know.
Have to go to night classes.
I think the response to that would just be, we don't negotiate with terrorists, and then things go bad anyway.
I think that would piss off the president's daughter, and then she becomes the apprentice to the villain.
Yes.
It's like a thing with, as a young man when Julius Caesar was kidnapped by pirates and was tremendously insulted by how low their requested ransom was. So he made them up the number, which they did, which he then used as a legal justification to murder them all.
Well done.
Okay. So why do you guys think that it is very fashionable these days to have like unlikable narrators, not unreliable, not only unreliable narrators, but unlikable narrators? Why is this fashion? Tell me, you are the ones who know things here.
Well, when I personally gave the suggestion for this topic, I was more so talking about some of the, because I've been listening to audiobooks like a maniac lately, including things like Catcher in the Rye and The Stranger by Albert Camus, which are both like perspective characters that are not exactly rays of sunshine. Like one is extremely negative, but on the one hand, you still want him to connect with someone. And then in The Stranger, the guy is just so nihilistic that he doesn't care about almost anything.
Yeah, The Stranger is painful. It really gets to the heart of you. I saw a stage production of it that was done very well, but the whole, after his mother's died and he goes swimming, it's just so for the famous absurdist. It's so nihilistic, as you say. It's genuinely very painful to read.
Yeah, the one thing, perhaps the only one thing that I would say was irresponsible of him was the way he befriends a guy who wants to take revenge on his mistress or lover or whatever it was. Like, really? You're like, I think the direct quote is that, well, I decided to help me because I had no reason not to. Like, really?
Yeah.
You're not going to have any standards of the people you keep around you?
Huh. Good evening, good afternoon, Adega. Nice to see you.
Hello, Adega.
That's our other amazing voice narrator,
The other one.
Yeah, your rival, your competitors. Both of you have very nice narrator voices, actually. Both of you. I'm the one who's like, okay.
But Adega is actually the narrator.
Yes, he is the narrator.
That is who he is.
You look at that. You have more subscribers. Hey.
Oh.
Yay.
In terms of
the goal of this stream is part of got to 100 subscribers if we can. If you're watching the replay, it also counts. You can subscribe. The links are in the description. And he is the best booktuber I found so far. Nothing to do with him being half finished. No, nothing. No.
Which half?
No, he actually.
The left one.
God damn it. Yeah, so like the thing is, I really like his channel, so I decided I'm going to stream with them. And as you can hear from the just brief intellectual conversation that they're just having about unlikable narrators, you can hear why I am so inclined to call these two my literary brothers, because awesome. No, not the dog neighbor now. No, the neighbor's dog. Oh, shit, not again.
The dog neighbors.
We need some
yes, desperately. I've never been able to
cute
find if there's a definitive dating on it, but it seems that the propensity for unlikable narrators. Hello. I do not know you, but it is
Hello,
very nice to have you here.
Savi is nice. She frequents my stream. She
I have an
frequents
overactive
a lot of
toddler
people's
niece. I
streams. She's
sympathise
awesome.
entirely. But I think the gradual climbing of its popularity is probably tied in with the great cultural shift you get between the two wars and sort of formalized at the end of the Second World War. It's sort of tied in with the rise of postmodernism and the idea of the absurdist with Camus and in the theatre with Ionesco. But it seems to be a rejection of the romantic. I mean, if you read Ulysses, there are plenty of parts of that where you just want to get Leo Bloom by the neck and throttle him. Not because he's particularly nasty, but because he's just, well, everyone should read Ulysses and then we'll come back and have that conversation. But it's a sort of attempt, I think, to balance out on the cognitive seesaw of centuries of whiter than white, cleaner than clean, heroic main characters. The unreliable narrator, I think, was the first step in that direction, but now we're in an age where the villain is outright the more interesting character, the unrepentant villain. I mean, nobody really gives a toss about Will Graham, but they love Hannibal Lecter.
Well, how much did people care about Hannibal Lecter before Hopkins did his rendition of him?
Oh, tell me about it. I mean, Brian Cox is a damn fine actor, but Manhunter is not a good film.
It's been a while since I saw it, but I remember liking it.
Oh, I enjoyed it. It's just it hasn't aged well. Shall we be diplomatic and say that it hasn't aged particularly well?
Fair enough.
But it also had a tremendous... We're not talking about the production values of the Laurentis, are we? That's not why we're here. But then again, there isn't...
No, you talk away. I'm only moderating the chat in this one. I'm not into...
and I, in a very grown-up way, turned away from it at the last moment.
Come on, you can go on all the tangents you want. That's why you guys are here. I don't watch movies. I'm blind, unless someone invites me to a watch party and describes what the hell's going on. Then I can watch a movie with people. But so far, I have no idea what you're talking about because blindness. But it's fine. Talk away. I'm learning shit. That's why I'm here.
It's unfortunate, but I can at least bring a lot of new knowledge, I guess, because I went to film school here.
Ooh, we have a film school person.
Trump us on that score, certainly.
Yeah, I'm a flexing that academic skill or whatever.
So he went... Okay, Marco, you went to film school. Sean, you went to writing school, I guess. And I was, I was a singer and then a psychologist. Something went wrong there. Yeah, but...
Well, I went to a university and got my BA and MA in creative writing.
So
if there was such a thing as just a writing school, that'd be fantastic. Actually, the blind mage here has raised an interesting idea of...
you start...
Pardon? Of just a little thing here that says...
novels with what?
Good anti-heroes and villains. Yes, can we
what's the thing about anti-heroes? Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say the distinction between an anti-hero and a villain. Because surely by definition a villain is outright antagonistic, whereas an anti-hero can simply be a protagonist who is not necessarily heroic.
Well,
there are no clean and fast definitions in this rule.
No, it's pretty clean, I believe. An antagonist is simply someone that gets in the way of the protagonist.
Oh, no, I mean, surely a villain is in the context of antagonistic, while an anti-hero would be a protagonist who is not necessarily heroic.
Well, let's put something like Death Note, for example. The main character is obviously villainous, so even though his antagonists are antagonizing him, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily good or bad, but they are certainly better in comparison.
What about the son of the villain trope? Because that's exactly what I'm writing.
I don't know this trope.
The son of the villain. So the protagonist is actually the son, so raised by the villain.
Oh, it is.
Like,
It's exactly how it sounds.
you know exactly what I'm talking. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
sometimes
you know
have,
exactly what I'm talking about because you know the shit I'm working.
I do.
It's the
I
dark
just didn't know.
prince who doesn't want to be a dark prince, possibly.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
The inverted chosen one.
The inverted chosen one, and who happens to be raised by someone who is definitely a villain. And I don't know how to call that, but that's my main character. That's what I'm working on, and I thought that would be accepted by the current trends of the notorious that come left and center in every other YA novel, but apparently agents are like, I don't connect with this voice. Oh, I also know that those are the form rejection letters that they just say I don't connect with this voice, so I know it's not exactly directed at me, but yay. so yeah, it's I'd never know if I'm doing things right or wrong, so that's why you guys are here. Enlighten me, please. I'll be moderating the chat. So what have you, there's a question, have you heard of the anti-villain who does evil things in a heroic way? What, like a vigilante?
I wouldn't call that the anti-villain as much as the false hero. You know, the guy that says that they're all nice and heroic, but then behind closed doors, they're actually really corrupt.
Just, who is this person? Hello, nice to see you, and thank you for being here.
I don't know, but
I
Puddle
never...
Dancers has kindly taken me to 110 subscribers. So thank you for that.
Whee!
Sweet.
Thank you very much for being here. Sweet. Now you should be like at 70. Otherwise, I don't call these people my friends anymore. You, Marco, you. True. I have two people on camera now. It's I have to specify who am I talking to. But
this is... So sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say, there's it strikes me, a dreadful layer of sanitation in all manner of writing, whether it's in terms of characterization or even plot, because we're all familiar. Well, I say familiar, I've only recently discovered that apparently there is a strain that is shouting out and campaigning for purely the nice ending. There must be a happy ending. And I think that goes through a lot of it. No, I know I entirely disagree. There's not a single person who survives my book, for Christ's sake. But you have this idea about it. What?
Not a single person that survives your book? There was one who survived. There was one.
Oh, I'll have to go back and fix that. But
yeah.
No.
I'll get it. You thought you could get away from me.
The yin and the yang. Yeah, in order to have a lot of death, you have to have at least one life.
You mean this one?
You see, you are a great audiobook narrator, Marco. That sounded amazing. Please go on.
I know, I'm being with my out of attitude. Yes. By Christ. Even I'm falling in love a little.
What would you do
I don't know
if we
what
were alone?
Marco, the children. It's too early. It's too early. The children, Marco, the children.
Yeah, but I'm a villain today, so I'm corrupting them.
About goddamn time.
I'm just gonna mute myself and let them talk. Enjoy.
No, but what do we have to talk about you to throw these scraps between, I don't know, whatever particular wild animal you want to be, Marco, and whatever animal I am?
I'm gonna be the horse, and you can be the sexy piggy, I guess.
No, Marco, we have crazies in the chat. Don't say that you're a horse. Don't.
The sexy piggy.
Hey, it's my fantasy. Get out of my head.
We'll split the difference and go with boar. Hell, if we didn't want people to judge us
usually-
for us fan, if we didn't want people to judge us for our fantasy, we wouldn't become writers.
I'm just a high pitch bat I'm the bat in the chat, I'm the high pitch creature of this conversation. So whatever.
No, I'm interested to hear your opinions on these things as well.
Yeah, well, my opinion is that I see a lot of the usual hypocrisy in this whole unlikable protagonist and narrators, because it seems to me in my very slow progress of reading, because guys, I read very slowly, and if there's no audiobook, I read even slower.
Quite understandable.
Are you here?
Did
you drop
internet?
off?
I think
Did
we're
the
having
dog
internet
neighbor
problems.
get it? Oh Lord! Oh God!
Oh Lord!
Gosh,
Oh
oh
Lord!
gee whiz! Oh no! It appears to be just us.
Oh no!
Hi. How are you?
Hi. Nice weather we're having.
Yeah, I hate it. It's
Yeah.
all bright and nice, and people are smiling at one another. I can't bear it.
Yeah, it's like hot and dry and also wet and cold, and it's like, why would you ever go out?
It's too much variety. And oh Lord. Well, welcome to chasing what epiphanies now, I guess. This is
All of the questions.
This is the show now. So, yeah. The idea for this particular line of conversation in terms of unlikable characters was your contribution to our, again, shall we polite and say, very informal throwing around of ideas of what we can talk about. So what is it, but why in particular was this an idea you wanted to explore more? In conversation anyway.
The thing that stuck out to me while listening to these audiobooks in particular was sort of this idea that through seeing the perspectives of these unlikable narrators or perspective characters, we do get perhaps a certain sense of empathy for people we never would have seen as, well, people in certain cases. Like if someone doesn't care, much like in The Stranger, people just look at the main character whose name escapes me. Like they look at him as though he's not entirely human. He doesn't feel the same way other people do, but through living through his eyes, we can still sympathize and still get another window into humanity, you could say.
And I would say I agree entirely. Because I've noticed more and more, in fact, it's rather reached a point where it may have tipped a little too far in the other direction towards a sort of cynical fridge magnet creation of the definition of a character's strength coming through their weaknesses. I think it's sort of rooted in that idea that we are arriving at more of an appreciation of the grayness of characters. Would you agree with that?
My general motto is that anything can be done too much. You can be too cowardly, you can be too courageous. Like it only takes a bit of imagination to imagine how that would look like.
Absolutely. I've just realized that we do have chats coming through here, but neither of us have any means of highlighting them. And oh no, Dal has commented. She says, "Go on without me. Don't leave.
No!
I'll be back." So there we are. But we will be.
She has to come back. She has to come back like the Terminator now.
We've. Are you with us, Hildar?
Oh,
are you with
shit.
us, or is it just your icon?
Okay, cool. I'm here. Good to know.
Spectacular.
Marvelous.
Holy shit.
We were trying to be grown up.
Yeah.
Everything all right?
Do the adulting.
Okay, I'm gonna test because now I am on the phone. I think the neighbors discovered what I'm doing. Oh, Oh, that's bad. That's terrible news. Okay, now I'm gonna test something. Can I click on comments on the phone?
Let us discover together.
Yes,
It works.
I can. It works. It lives. Okay, perfect. So it's alive. That's me. I am the Mary Shelley of AuthorTube. No, I'm not. I'm not. I am
no,
not.
no, you are. You are now. Marco can be Byron, and I'll be Polidori.
I'll be Marquis de Sade.
I bet
All
you
right.
fucking will.
All right, guys. So where did that conversation go while the neighbors took me off of the Wi-Fi?
We
first
were
of all-
talking. Oh, sorry. No, you go ahead.
First of all, why is the neighbors discovering you a bad thing? Are you streaming through ill means through your volcano lair?
No, I don't have Wi-Fi of my own, so they probably probably finally realized what the crap is going on.
Okay.
My God, you mean the entirety of your channel this whole time has been pirated?
No,
Yarr.
no, that's not what
Well,
I meant.
you wouldn't
What
say
I
it in
meant.
public, anyway.
No, I don't have Wi-Fi of my own. So at some point we could not have any more. There was a problem. Something went wrong, and I started using the neighbors around March, I think. So yes.
But you are here now.
Yes. I
That's
can
a
do
giant
this from
control.
my phone. It's a miracle. It's alive.
Hallelujah.
Anyway, so what were we talking about?
We were going around the idea of the unlikable narrator, so the unlikable character anyway, being a
flawed.
means of greater empathy, of being an empathetic realization of viewpoints we may not necessarily get.
Mm-hmm. I like that. So this is where
We had
people
that
are working.
conversation.
Yeah, you had that conversation. Great.
And now we're having another one.
Awesome. I don't know. What else did we want to talk about tonight before we conquer the world?
Well,
Same thing we do every night, Pinky.
trying to take over the world.
Well, we can start talking about narrator voices, styles, probably. Author goals. Because you two, please tell the world, what are you working on? Because you guys have not been very vocal about it on AuthorTube. People are tired of hearing me talk about those things, because I always do. So take the microphone and just tell us, what are your writer goals? What are your books? What are you working on? Traditional self-publishing, what the crap do you want? And tell us, so people get to know you. And if they have not subscribed yet, well, then they can, and they will have an actual motive to, go and follow your platforms.
Oh no, please, Marco, after you.
I shall take my privileged entry then. Let's see. Yeah, well, my problem
fun,
is
isn't
that What is?
This slightly Regency back and forward.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, my problem is that I always struggle with finishing stories, so I got like 100 just lying around waiting to be finished. So far, I haven't put that much thought into whether I want to be classically published or like go the indie route or whatever. But maybe a few short stories are lurking somewhere out there on the web. But mostly, I'm just focused on finishing my actual projects first of all, which tend to be.
Who is this person? You brought a friend, Marco. Hi. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Game Soccer. He's from some of my gaming content that I do with Prince Vince.
Okay, so he's also a gamer. If you like games and stuff, you can find him somewhere else. I don't have that link. Ask him on Twitter or something.
Do so. But yeah, I don't really confine myself to any particular genre, I guess. For me, it's always just, it's the
no
premise.
one in this chat does. No one.
No.
Well, of course, I do avoid romance because Well, I don't necessarily avoid it, but the idea is simply that if the premise is cool, if there's a nice high concept that really gets my curiosity and imagination going, I will want to write about that.
Yeah, I sympathize. I've never really understood the idea of romance as a singular standalone genre, perhaps as a component genre in a larger construction, but by itself, I don't understand how there's that much traction.
Well,
But
you
out of
could
it.
say that romance has become exactly that. How many movies do we watch where romance is just pushed in and squeezed in, even though it doesn't really need to be there?
You can
That's
see
why
the
they are my
welding
brothers.
mark.
I love this. That's why they are my brothers. I tried writing a romance once. I thought it was very nice for me. It was the kind of thing I would like to read, and I found it fun and entertaining. But the romance crowd is like, no, girl, no, this is not what we read. This is not what we do. And I'm like, oh, okay. And never again.
I do believe I watched that discussion in one of your videos.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think I remember
it
that.
just went all over the place. Yeah, but yeah, I don't understand the genre. I tried to write the genre. I don't really understand it because I'm ace. Oops. Oops. So and apparently I am edging on arrow, so I am like arrow ace, but not really, but like whatever.
I'm not
I'm
familiar
going
with
there.
this term.
Yeah, what is
Aromantic,
arrow
like someone who
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Not arrow
yeah,
as in a
someone who
ranger that
does not
shoots
experience.
arrows.
No, well, could be as well, whatever. But the aromantic, but I'm not really. But it's very rare that I ever feel anything because this alien, I'm from another galaxy. We just don't work that way, I guess. So that's the genre that I'm maybe going to step away from. But everything else, I just want to write everything because if it's a good idea and I like it, like Marco said, then that's me. But
If you ask
Marco,
me, screw the people. Screw the people. Write what you want.
You should write. You should do the AuthorTube newbie tag because you haven't done that yet.
Eventually.
You will do it because otherwise I have laser beams.
Oh,
there's
no.
two of them, isn't there? There's a
I have a
AuthorTube newbie
finished
tag 2.0
sauna blast.
as well. Wow, you're also heavily armed.
Well, of course.
I apologize. I came unprepared. Didn't realize it was that kind of conversation.
Well, negotiations always need force behind them to be more persuasive.
Speak softly and carry a big stick. I just start shouting. How the hell did we get here?
I don't know, but people seem to enjoy it.
And now for something
Yeah.
completely different.
Do I have a video on the genre, Chris? I don't
I think
remember.
it was us. I think it was just us.
Yeah, I
did
really
want
need to
to-
start paying attention to what I do.
You never
Well,
pay attention. I'm the one who's like, guys, get the crap out of your asses and do something.
I'm very easily distracted, but I stay on autopilot, so I just accumulate things. I never know
Well,
exactly how they come
yeah.
into being.
If I am to bring some
yeah.
order, then there was something I wanted to comment on
Yeah, go on.
regarding that whole romance thingy discussion. It seemed like there was a lot of talk about like expectations from the romance community, I guess.
Yes.
But as far as I'm concerned, like if you learn the expectations, you can play with those expectations. It's just a matter of do you betray or play with them. If you, for example, have people in a certain genre expect one thing to happen, and you decide, no, I'm going to subvert everyone's expectations and do something surprising. Well, there's always a good way and a bad way to do it. So if you do something different that nobody expected, but it's worse than what they did expect, then obviously they're not going to like it. But if it's better than what they expected, they're like, oh, this is the greatest romance I've ever read, even though it's not a romance and it's asexual. Oh, my God. And that's my fear.
No, Marco, no. The community is very, very, very strict with what they want. You have to give them what they want, or else.
No.
So
I disagree.
this
You're
is what I
suggesting
wanted.
then a community composed entirely of passive readers.
What I am suggesting is, well, something that I was told in a film school was from, I believe it was Irish or a Scottish guy that came in for a little guest lecture, and he basically said there is the ending that people want, and then there's the ending that people actually want but don't realize.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's the gulf between the old rule we were taught was you can shock your audience but never surprise them. If you're going to give them a subverted ending, they have to be able to go back and realize that you were going along that line the whole time, but you successfully fooled them. But by a community of passive readers, I meant what Dal was describing from this romance group. They turn up with a shopping list and writers provide it for them. Is that the gist of it?
Is that
No
how it
idea.
I disagree with that outlook, because at least being a Swedish guy, that sounds very eerily similar to how producers in the movie industry are. They just want, no, if in order for you to get produced, you need to either be a sort of dark, gritty or very gray thriller crime where the main character has a problem with his family or something depressing, or you have to be some kind of romantic comedy where two people like, oh, here comes the lady from the city, but she's all tired and depressed, so she moves out to the countryside where she meets this rough around the edges bad boy who shows her that life is more than just a big city life or something.
It was never the other way around.
And then if you want to do a sci-fi, you're like, no, we're not going to produce it. And it's like, it's what the people want. It's what I want.
Yeah. People don't know what they want. You should never, ever try to give them what they want, because they don't know what it is until they've got it.
Maybe that's my mistake. I'm always trying to give what I think people want, and it's like, nope, that doesn't work like that. Also, question, where can people find you? People want to know where you are. See, you guys are likable. You have to make more videos and be more present because people like you.
Well, it's simple enough. You can find me in the link that Dal has provided in the description. And if you look at pretty much any description of my videos, you will see links to my Twitter and such.
If you have between 6 and 7 red candles and a vial of goat's blood, you should be able to summon me to any particular place. Does that count? Failing that, I'm on
Twitter. Sorry about that. Marco is also a writer, and he knows what he's talking about. I don't know what to say to this.
Just trust me. Trust me, Game Soccer. It's gonna make sense once you get educated and cultured.
Ouch! Ouch!
No. I made that joke with him before.
Not
Christ,
even
the
I
iron fist in the velvet glove.
Not even I am that direct. Well, I forgot you're Finnish. That's what you do. That's what Finns do. They just tell you shit in your face like, oh yeah, you're ugly. Great.
Well, no, I don't go exactly that far.
Quick,
Prepare of you. I never, ever thought I would have heard the phrase, just shit in their face.
They really just do. They really just do. Trust me, I've been there. I know. And it's also something I do, but I have learned the cultural differences with societies. So I don't really do it anymore. and even less on social media. Well, sometimes I do, sorry. That's why, you see, I'm a villain. I am the villain who looks cute and nice and everything's great. And then, no. And then, nay.
You're the duality.
I'm not a duality. I just get in the mind of my characters very well, and the Wi-Fi is still gone. So holy shit!
You did
I will
remind me
never-
of one story. There
What?
was this one movie maker who made sort of a horror movie, and they were showing it in a Finnish cinema, and it was supposed to be like a dark comedy, a black comedy, I guess. And it was completely silent, no laughing throughout the entire movie span. But then once the movie was ended, she got applause, and people were like, "Yeah, it was really funny." And he's like, "Okay." And it's like, but you didn't laugh. Oh no, that's just how we are.
Oh, yeah, that can happen as well. Do I have internet?
I think I am similar in that case. I will smile and think something amusing, but I will rarely laugh out loud. It is too unbecoming of my gracious outward appearance.
I laugh. I am very vocal about my laughing, but yeah. And the neighbor's dog again. So I don't have Wi-Fi, and the neighbor's dog is being the neighbor's dog. So I apologize for my not perfect sound quality today.
Oh, you sound fine from here.
Certainly.
All right. He says he will not support you. Ha ha ha.
No. Oh no.
The coup begins.
Ooh. So you guys, yeah, like I said, like the stream so more people can find it, because I don't really ask for people to like the stream. Don't forget to hit the like button so more people will find it. Also, if you're watching the replay and you don't know these two gentlemen here, very intellectual, much more than me, well, go and subscribe, because I like them and they are very talented writers. So yes, what else? Yeah.
Yes, what now? Or Sean, I guess is
Chris.
the better way to call you. What do you write?
Yeah, oh God, what do I write? That is a hell of a question.
What is your life story?
No. Well,
in case that it's less of a big question.
1512. No, I've managed to boil it down to save a hell of a lot of time saying I write weird fiction. I'm sort of on that particular orbit of speculative fiction where it sort of begins to overlap with various amounts of fantasy and horror, but fuck it, I write the odd shit. I write weird, mind-bending surrealism. The book I've just finished and I'm now desperately trying to flog is a build-up mosaic of about 12 different genres. And now I'm moving on to a means of combining surrealism, magical realism, and historical fiction. And it's proving a bit of a bugger, Marco. I'm not going to lie to you. It's possibly bitten off a little more than I could chew. But we will find a way through it.
Ain't that the case every time? Too much to chew.
Well, speaking of a fat man, yes.
But you did something good. You did something good with that. I read the book. No secrets anymore. I read the book. I like it. I love it. I want more. You did something good. You're doing a lot of combining and surrealism and crazy stuff and head hopping, and it's crazy, yes, but it's not a chewing brick of descriptions. So I'm so here for it.
Yes, if anybody's interested in a book that takes cosmic horror, cannibalism, robots, environmental terrorism, and a lot of laughs, then mine's a book for you. Actually, two lots of robots. I remember.
Sounds a little Adam Douglasy.
It's Douglas Adams, Teddy Pratchett, that sort of thing.
I like.
I hope. I really hope.
You see, someone else likes it, and I love it. You had me at eco-terrorism. I love that. I'm so here for it. Whoever reads my books will ever find out why I say that, but I'm writing a fan fiction already.
Oh, Charlie. Actually, I've just realized, looking at my own terrible, terrible image here, that I have become Charlie. I look like him now. It's terrible.
Oh no! Oh no!
There's only one way this ends.
You have grown to become the villain.
No,
He has grown to become
Charlie's
it.
not the villain.
He's not the villain. For once,
Charlie's a poor son of a bitch.
for once in a lifetime, he is not the villain.
Oh, pardon me.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Well,
shocking.
Marco. Marco is this person. Like I said, he is the one that no one was expecting to be the villain, and he's also a bad guy anyway.
In my own little way.
Yes, in your own little way, but you are, and I found the right person to cast for that character too. Oh yeah, this is the other thing, people. Get used to this, because there will be 3, 4, potentially 4. We don't know where Steven is at the moment, but there will be 4 voices in that short story project that I'm writing, and that's exactly a short story where basically everybody is a bad guy, basically. Of course, Sean is one of them. I am the
It's
other
going to
one,
be
and I
Nick.
don't have a villainous voice, but I need to practice. It will get there, I
Practice being a villain?
promise. But yeah, work. Yeah, you're not a villain, but you're helping a villain, so you are a villain. So that works. What is this
Something that I
comment?
did.
What do you say?
Paul answers, who, and I cannot
does it
emphasize this
yeah.
enough, the fuck are you? Reveal yourself at once. This person has
I
read
started
part
reading. Oh my god!
Oh, the body horror, yes. Who is this person? Reveal yourself immediately.
Who are you?
He reveals
reveal
himself from the
yourself.
microcosmos.
I've
Oh
been
my god, so you see-
found.
who the fuck is reading this book? You see, like, this is my open call to that literary agent. If you're watching, you better take that book, or else I have laser beams and volcanic rage, and you don't want to mess with my own internal Eyjafjallajökull, okay?
I got that by context.
know what it is, but
Rachel, hello. There we are. That's been another short mystery. Oh my god, I've got the Hagen household in with me today. My goodness.
Oh, so it's the whole house. Okay, so it's Chris and who?
And Rachel,
Ah.
this is significantly better half.
Ah, okay, yeah. Pew pew, exactly. Pew pew, pew pew. So I already have the information for this agent. I know where you live.
When we get to court, I will be using this as an exhibit of my defense. If anyone's gonna murder these bastards, it'll be me.
Would the jury please exhibit A at their character, so to speak?
Beg pardon, Marco, sorry?
Would the jury please look at these people's character in this video?
Yeah, it
Yeah, probably.
character's assassination. Horrifying.
But I have to.
appreciate
I
the
have to
support all
agree
the
with.
time.
I have to agree with this person that I didn't know. Hello there, Chris's partner, and I absolutely agree with you. I started reading that thing, and it was such an unlikable, snarky little piece of shit. And I was like, "Whoa! I need to see more of this. This is so good." And I couldn't stop ever since. And I got a lot of interruptions, but that doesn't really mean that I wanted to stop. Which is something similar to what I was trying and epically failing to do with my own book, because my book also starts with my character being a piece of a... Exactly. And then it turns out it's not so unlikable after all. So I am already subverting a trope and probably failing in the process. And I don't know what Marco is writing, because like he says, he never shows us. He's the Finnish who cannot finish things. I had to.
I shall have my revenge.
You will have your revenge. You will.
No.
These overlapping, disembodied voices in my ears, it's taking me back to my days on the psychiatric ward.
Burn the house
Hang
down,
on.
Sean.
Hang
Burn the
on.
house down.
Hang on. Wait.
Is it
Psychiatric
you
ward?
again?
Are you joking? Are you joking?
Of course.
We will never know.
I'm always joking.
Is this really the
You're-
face of a man who's never spent any amount of time inside a psychiatric hospital?
Yeah, well, Marco, you're always joking. That's why you're here for. You should write comedy. Aren't you also writing comedy? Because you totally should.
Yes, I am. I was writing one Swedish movie script that I've been trying to get finished for years, which is another one of those that's just hard to get the details and out of editing hell, especially due to the subject, because it's very political, and it's
Cool.
all about this cat and mouse chase between this far right person and a far left person who are trying to sabotage each other, almost in a Tom and Jerry way.
Uh-huh.
Please, I want that. I
We
want
want
that
that.
so much. I
The
really
problem,
do.
the only problem is I cannot read subtitles. So if it's in Swedish, I am screwed. But I will figure it out. I will watch it with you, and you will tell me what the fuck is going on. But
Of
I
course.
want it. But I want.
No, I love everything about that idea. that's
I love
got
my dual
in.
protagonists.
That's because I obviously I've not. Is it a book or a script?
A script.
It's a script. I can't see in my head what you had in mind, but I just have this image of it being a very darkly toned Laurel and Hardy. I have this image of gritty realism meets slapstick.
Yeah,
And
the kind of humor I tend to be influenced by is stuff like Monty Python and South Park and things that just go over the top with a bit of wit there and a bit of heart at the end as well.
I'm in. I'm all for this. This is
I'm
marvelous.
all for this.
And I
See,
was
my
That's
also-
exactly the
brothers
sort
are
of thing I
very
wanted to hear
talented.
today. But thank you, Marco. You absolutely made my day with that.
You should
Just the
hang
knowledge
out
of that
more
imminent
often.
existence is
Now,
it's made me very happy.
what it would be the case for, like, because what is this thing that we get distracted and we cannot end our projects? I always finish my writing projects. I always do, but damn, it takes forever. Like, seriously, forever. So what is this thing that you guys struggle with as writers? Like, what is this thing, this horrible thing, antagonistic force that interferes with your goals? What is this? Why?
Typically, it's choice paralysis, I guess. I think I hinted at it before we started that sometimes I will make a theme that makes it makes sense to end it one way because of the themes, but the characters are acting like this, and it wouldn't make sense for them to really be involved with this and that. And I'm like, what do I balance here? How do I make this end actually like poignant, and how do I tie all the knots together in a pleasing way? Because I always feel like, no, I got one knot down, but I got 12 other knots just flying around.
Yeah, I'm in the exact opposite position of Marco. My problems are at the beginning of starting to find the thread that hopefully will become knotted. It's I don't write in a linear way. I'll a bit of a middle and then go to the end and then to the beginning. But if I don't know how it starts, if I don't know how to begin laying out all those pieces, then it's choice paralysis on the other end of the process. I don't have a problem with ending particularly. All my problems are with beginning. We should. You start them. I'll finish them.
Nice.
Sal, you can do the middle.
I don't know. No. You don't want me to do the middle. I don't. As you will discover in my books, the middle is like, what the hell is going on? Where is she going with this? It makes no sense. Why is she doing that? Why are these people doing? Where is this person? Where did they come from? Because in the middle is where all the other characters appear, and it's like, what? What is this person wasn't here 50 pages ago? Who is this? Why is it here? So no. And also I should never do the middle for any book, because I am the one who is always writing characters who speak like 20 languages, or I don't know. So no, definitely no.
Difficult to do in media res with those characters.
Alternatively,
Alicat.
yes.
Hello,
Hello,
Alicat. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
The ultimate collab, probably. But I don't think, can the three of us write a book together? Can this be a YouTube project?
No.
I have never collaborated on a prose project before. I'm not against the idea. I just never have. I wouldn't know how to.
Actually,
It will be
writing,
notorious.
Yes. But in film school, there was some courses on the script writing. I did 2 courses. One was for like feature film length stuff, where we just did one idea per person, and we just criticized each other's progress as we went along. But then there was also short film stuff where we constantly teamed up to do stuff together, and it was probably the most fun course I've ever had.
Can this be a collab? Can this be a
We could
collab?
Good Omens it. I'm for it. I'll experiment with it. I can't say it would be any good, but I'm more than willing to try.
I mean, we can totally bring Charlie back from the dead and have an adventure with Tibor, and then I don't know, Marco, bring someone. I don't care. I don't know. We have to really better read your stuff before we can start. We have an idea of what we do, because after reading Sean's book, I'm like, yeah, I'm writing a fan fiction with one of your characters and my characters, and this is hilarious. And now, Marco, I don't know, but definitely you're part of the family, so this is happening. Stay tuned for future book project stuff. I don't know. Like I said, if you haven't liked the stream, don't forget to like the stream, invite people over, tweet about it, get these people to recognition, because I think after what you have heard from this stream, these two are intellectual and I'm just hampering the whole conversation. So I'll be moderating the chat.
Yeah. And please forget everything I said about horses.
We will suffer no more horse talk in this chat.
No more horse shit here. Thank you.
No clipping, no clopping, no nothing.
No neighing.
No braying.
Right. No carrots.
Whoa, now let's not go too
Carrots are good for you.
They're incredibly good. If you stick them in your eyes, you can see in the dark. No, wait, that's wrong. I had a bad time at school.
That's not in going in our book for sure. Yeah.
Well,
So
some poor
right,
bastard has his
so,
eyes
okay.
gouged to catch out with a carrot. It's going in now.
So the other thing that you two should be paying attention to, because we live in the age of social media and you cannot escape it. I have already told you that, Sean. Marco, I'm going to shortly after start bothering you with that too. But like, what are your purpose for your platforms? What do you want to do, and how do you want your platforms to sort of reflect what you're writing about? Like the whole package of you as writers, as authors, like an identity. Like I should say that that's what people call brand and stuff like that. But yeah, what are your plans? Because everybody already knows mine, so I'm just here asking stuff.
I'll let Sean go first this time.
I aim to be acknowledged without being observed. Basically a god.
Or a Schrodinger's Sean.
Yeah, I'm Schrodinger's author. That's what I'm going for.
So there's no death of the author unless you observe the author.
The author is both dead and alive, yeah.
Right. And then why the heck didn't you get a pen name?
Because I have a point to prove.
Oh, okay.
There's underneath this somewhat jovial, quasi-academic facade is a boiling revenge narrative that most people are not privy to.
Yeah, and I also go with my regular name, even though growing up I didn't like my name much. But then I saw, of all the things, one bit of Oprah where she was all like, well, I didn't like my name much either, so I just plastered it all over until people started liking it.
Yeah, if you don't like your name, but it's the thing that's making you billions, I imagine you can warm to it over time.
Surely.
Of course. Well, I don't like my name, my paper name, but I had a singer name, but I just don't want to pair the two things together. And unfortunately, it's already happening, but I don't care.
Well, as
Marco,
for my plans,
what about you?
Brand.
Yeah.
Well, some things that stand about me is that I'm also 2D. The main reason for this was simply because I want to be a little creative with my visuals and be entertaining. And also I'm a sucker for consistency, and being animated allows me to not have a bad hair day in one video and not in another video and all that. Looking at you, John.
I totally... Ouch! I'm telling you, the Finnish
No, you
dude.
weren't.
Yeah, that's funny because he just asked me yesterday, so how are you? And I was like, yay, I brushed my hair today miraculously. The realities of someone with depression. Sometimes I don't have a hairbrush. I do, but I don't use it. So that's another reason why I don't do face reveals, because this ugly witch needs a hairbrush sometimes. So I prefer to stay as a cartoon.
We are going to have words.
Yeah,
Put up
all
your
right.
word gloves. Join me in the debate ring. We're gonna fight with words.
Yeah, or AuthorTube needs weird fanfics. Yes.
Yes, give us your combinations. I'm thinking a
People in the
crossover between
chat,
Das
tell
Boot
us.
and Sister Act.
Yes, post your fanfics to my Twitter, and I shall judge them.
And he will be honest. That's the great thing about Marco. He will not tell you anything that he doesn't mean to. Like, he will tell you where you suck. So if you're not ready for that, well, then don't. But if you are looking for someone who will be honest with you without any regrets, that's Marco, 100%.
Well, I'm not that kind of person, because something that I actually saw on Twitter, which usually is a cesspool, but one thing that actually stood out was one comment that said, notice how people who are proud of being brutally honest never have anything nice to say? Why are people who are honest not capable of saying honest, nice things? Come on.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you there. I am one of those who will tell you the nice things too.
Yes,
I will tell you
nice.
the weird. Yeah, no, I can be both. I am a nice alien, and then I once roasted a whole book, and I do regret. But at the time when I was reading, I really felt it, so I was honest.
We should start a campaign for aggressive positivity.
Yes.
For being as visceral and volcanic and tempestuous as people are when they're being brutally honest, but to say nice things. Really get some cognitive dissonance going.
We gotta title this video Marco destroys people with hugs and kisses.
I would. Please do that.
Please.
I mean, you
have
have the better voice for that than I do. I mean, if a tiger could talk, Marco, it would sound like you.
Rawr.
Ooh.
What is this? I wanted to be mauled. I'm getting fucking nibbled. He's new at being a tiger. He's learning. He hasn't quite got the self-confidence yet. So just pretend like he's mauling you. Feels confidence no end to it.
This is what happens when you. This is what happens when you throw 2 Leos in a chat.
Oh,
One cage.
Well, there we are.
Yeah.
2 astrological Leonines in a cage.
2 go in.
And then I don't know what I'm
talking about
doing.
this.
And then I.
You're stood on
And
the
then
other
I'm
side
in the
of the
middle,
bars,
just-
poking us with sticks, hoping we don't work out how to open the door.
Yes, we are smart lions.
But not
Smart.
that smart. We are remarkably complacent.
That too. We are phlegmatic.
Right.
There was one more thing. Besides
Yes.
just being a 2D and entertaining and all that, I do also, like my name suggests, want to chase epiphanies, because something I love is philosophy and having those sort of great moments where I'm like, oh my god, a puzzle piece of the world just clicked into place in my head.
And that's why we love you. And
And I
that's
see
why
him-
you and Sean should collab in stuff without me in the middle, in just ruining everything. But yeah, because you two are very philosophical. Like, well, I am too, but I just don't want to show it too much because women should not be smart, and I know that that's what society dictates me. So I'm like trying to dumb myself
We're
down so
not in
agents will
society
take
right
me.
now.
Put society
No,
in
this
its place
society,
before
no.
it puts you in yours.
If anything, this is
Yeah.
our own small society. We don't use the word community for the sake of it. We're only having our own architecture away from being a society.
We are the trident of
Yeah.
weird surrealism.
The trident of weird surrealism. And you say you didn't agree with us? Ah, yeah, there you are.
Free-headed god.
Yes, the Cerberus.
The Cerberus of
Cerberus.
AuthorTube, I guess.
I already got the rar down.
Yes, you did, and it was a damn fine round. That's what I was saying.
What is this?
I've heard of it. We're being cute, Dal. Haven't you ever seen flirting before?
I guess.
I guess. Wow. I've
don't
been
care.
judged on some things, but not that so publicly. My word.
How honest.
I am very honest.
Yes, so
I
cruel.
just
You smite me.
this alien does not understand where this is going, but
I keep having recurring nightmares of Dal running towards me down a hill with a bucket full of truth.
you have never seen me. No, wait, hang on. You have. Oh shit.
Yeah, you literally showed. No, I just see your
Well, anyway.
avatar.
Yeah.
But it's
so-
not particularly well animated in my head, so it just tips forward and backwards. I've got lost in this
You-
idea, but I'm going to keep going until someone digs me out of it.
Yeah, come on. No.
No, we
So
gotta
you
dig
have
to the core.
he has had
Until we come out the
nightmares
other
of
side.
me. So he has had
haven't
nightmares
really.
of me. No,
I
okay.
haven't really.
Yeah, because that feels very flattering to me.
I was hoping
I'm
you'd focus on the
spooky.
bucket full of truth part, but here we are now.
All right, Lauren, you're leaving. Bye, Lauren. Have a good one. Have a
So
nice
long.
day.
Farewell.
She probably got
Happy
confused, but it's fine. She will catch the rest of this nonsense.
Confusion is good.
Eh,
Confusion allows plasticity of the soul.
yeah, disagreeing is healthy, and that's why we're here, because the three of us sometimes agree and sometimes we don't. And that's another thing I wanted to show in something in this community, is that people can disagree and it's still fine. It's not
Yeah.
cancellation of the other beings.
Blessed
Because-
are the flexible, for they never bend out of shape.
Awesome. I feel like the only way to learn new things is actually gathering with people that, suddenly have a different perspective from yours. And then I think that's the only way to go to become a better writer, Because if you only write about the things that you agree upon, it's gonna be really cookie cutter real fast, and it's just gonna be the same thing over and over. And that's why you two are here, because I see that you guys are like this multi-genre. Let's try this thing here. Let's try this other thing here. Let's try this other thing over there. And it's just always changing. And I think that's an example for a lot of people who are starting over, like new writers, that they maybe have this idea that they want to try different things, but then we live in this society that are telling us, and I sounded so Joker there, sorry. And and we live in this society that tells us niche down, narrow down, get to one genre. And if you're going to do multiple genres, get different pen names and niche down. And I'm like, but why? Why
Because
do you do that?
Capitalism.
Yeah, sure, capitalism, but what's
And
that?
also expectations. But I say subvert expectations with good things.
It becomes the path of least resistance. It's developed purely by an observable pattern, which, when observed, is always at least a year out of date.
It is.
Now, you're
because
about last year's
traditional publishing is very slow. Traditional publishing is very, very slow. So once you get that thing out, it's probably outdated. And I don't know, it's very uncomfortable. I don't know, Marco, what are you pursuing, by the way? You're going to go self-pub, traditional, small press, hybrid. What do you want?
I don't know. Probably traditional.
Probably traditional, yeah. I am too poor to do self-publishing. I always say that I am as broke as you can be. I am on the poverty line or probably under, so I cannot afford at all traditional publishing. This is why I started this platform too, because, maybe this could be a little, I'm not saying this is going to be a full income, but it could be a side income at some point in my life.
You can find like-minded people that will bring you connections, but instead you got us.
Hi. Hello.
What does he say? Because I cannot see it.
A quick stop during this overheated day of humidity and torture. That's my bucket of truth. Feeling like crap. And that's from our good friend, story detective Robert Jones. Well, sorry to hear you feeling like crap, Robert.
I'm so sorry that you feel that. And I agree. I mean, I hate summer. I think this. Well, I don't know, Marco. Maybe you are the summer lover of the chat, but I don't. We both hate winter. We hate summer with a passion.
Oh,
I'm a sweet summer child.
I'm an Arctic mammal. I'm just blubber and fur. I can't take the heat. It's devastating.
So you have become a whale or something.
I was going for a mammoth, but okay.
Okay,
but then you'd be extinct.
Yeah, well, I'm the only one of my kind, so yeah. Functionally extinct anyway.
I hate that word. I hate that word with a passion.
Which word?
Exotic. Oof. Oof. Don't get me there. Don't even get me started.
Is it better or worse than moist?
Well,
it depends.
Worse, I guess.
Moist depends very much on the context.
Moist exoticness.
Ugh. Marco, stop.
There's a serious temptation to Google that and see what comes up. Hang on.
No, I'm like a kid with a red button in front of him. And what does this do? Poke, poke, poke. Don't reveal your buttons to me. I will push them.
Exotics.
Oh, okay. That's dangerous. I once met a person who exactly did that. They became your friend. And then
the first thing I got from typing in moist exotics was a clinical veterinary advisor, birds and exotic pets on Books Google. But there is also something from Amazon called Moist Jungle, New Age Master and Animal Melody Wizard. It's nowhere near as horrifying as I thought it would be. I'm very disappointed.
You haven't scrolled down far enough.
So I'm going to image search.
Someone thinks you're handsome. That's that we're getting somewhere. Keep watching the stream. Go back and watch the replay. It'll make you feel better. Yeah, hopefully. Thank you very much for that, Mary.
Many thanks.
Oh my god. I understand how you feel, though.
Kids. You're not fooling anyone.
No, you're not fooling anyone. Yeah, this is why I stay off camera, because I don't want any compliments, positive or negatives. Some people say I am exotic, and I'm like, I'm not a plant. I'm an alien. Thank you.
It's not a word you should ever use for anything larger than a parrot.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of people use it in humans.
Where you have a rock-sized
So
parrot.
that's a thing.
I'm going to board with that, certainly.
Well, yeah, definitely. So
we have gone around the houses today.
It's what we do.
Yeah,
it's what we do.
It's mission accomplished. Mission accomplishing.
I suppose. Well, I don't know. I mean, one of my goals with the whole stream and the whole thing is what I always do. I am always supporting people. And I was like, these two guys are very underrated talents. And I don't know what's happening with AuthorTube, but these two really stand out. And I really wanted to support them. So whoever is watching this stream or catching it on the replay, you can see they are very smart, more than I am. I sometimes have smart ideas, but I just don't have the brain capacity to express them when I want to. That's why I write instead of doing some public speaking, because I suck at that. But I'm trying. This platform is helping me to improve on things that I still suck at. But these two, there's always room for improvement. You have to go. Oh, Robert has to go in some minutes. But yeah,
he needs to pick up a few
soon.
moist and exotic things.
God damn it. Yeah, but I mean, you can I hope it was enjoyable anyway. But like I think everyone before they start any project, and please disagree with me if you want to, if you do. I feel like you cannot just go without a plan. You can totally be a discovery person. I'm not saying that you can't, but like at least you have to have some idea of more or less where do you want to go with things, because if you have at least a northern star, so to speak, it will be a little bit easier to go on with it. So for example, I am this person who wants to be, like I always say, and I said it in my trailer, which is like the first video that people see from me, I want to be maybe not the biggest, but I want to be one of the blind fiction authors. I am not a memoir blind person kind of writer, like, oh, this blind person who wrote a memoir about being blind again. Again.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I was like, I just don't want to be that kind of writer. So I was like, okay, I want to be a fiction writer, and I want to be multi-genre, because I feel like writing a contemporary about a person going blind and just it's very similar to a memoir. It's just that it's supposedly fiction, and I just feel like it just doesn't work for me. So I wanted to try different genres where I could put blind characters in different situations. Some are heroes, some are not very likable. Hulda, hello. Some are very, very scared of the unknown. That's another character that I'm going to write in a horror story. But like, different situations for different kind of personalities, and they all happen to be different degrees of blind or visually impaired, which I have never seen in fiction. And I still don't know what the crap am I doing, but at least I have an end goal. So this is why you see me streaming every week, and you see me inviting people who know more than me and such collaboration things, because at least I have an idea. And I think this would be helpful for people who are like, I want to write a book, but they don't know what else they're going to do about that. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's the plan.
And I support you all the way. I'll be your cheerleader.
Likewise.
I'm expecting to dress up.
Likewise. And what are your plans?
I'll be your gruff but lovable coach. Who says things like "Get up, you bum." There's always chewing on chewing on a
Bacon is
toothpick.
right.
I think this villainous trifecta that we. I think this villainous trifecta that we have just created from this is that we are going to be both each other's cheerleader and also get off your bum. The three of us, it's like a three-way stream going like get off your butt, but you're doing great. Don't worry, get off your butt. Hopefully, I mean, if that book collaboration can happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this much: in terms of the villainous, the bad guy, and the weirdo side of the community, there's no drama among our lot. It's all the sunshine people who have drama.
They have standards to hold themselves to.
Oh my! But that's a good point, Sean, because like these people who try to be always rainbows and sunshines, and then boom, suddenly there's drama going. Just go back 1 year ago, and oh my goodness, the drama was revolving around the person who was supposedly rainbows and sunshines all the time, and good vibes and positivity, and and I don't have her accent, so I cannot imitate her.
Yes, you do. Well, you have Anna. That was fantastic. I want to bottle that.
Hello, guys. Today is Happy Monday. Ooh.
I want to bottle that and flog it for Christmas. That's fantastic.
Hello, blood.
I just did. Oh my God, this will get me in so much trouble. I do apologize, but honestly speaking, if there was an AuthorTube rap battle, it would be Dalsa Silruna versus that person. And I will win, of course.
I think we're allowed to do these accents. This is the first one I've seen where there were no North Americans on the screen. The old world has...
How anti-American.
No, just a geographical note.
Mary, we need accessory from you and Jamie if the three of us are really going to work on a book or something. Because Mary Wembley is a co-author. And she's working on a project that's called Shadows of the Past. You see, I remember. Once you tell me, I don't forget. And so she's working with Jamie Barfield, and they are writing this thing together. So we probably need accessory in this thing. We will contact you, and we will negotiate without any consequences. Don't be afraid. We will be in touch.
You will hear
definitely
from our people when you least expect it.
You see why I casted him as a villain? You see why? Because damn. Because damn.
I know it's a terrible stereotype, but I love it.
No. The character had a British accent, but I didn't make him the villain because of being British. I actually...
No, I know.
It was... No, you know better than anybody. But I am hyping my short story because that short story is coming up this Halloween. So, and this beautiful gentleman on camera are going to make voices for me. And I'm still preparing that Icelandic accent. Yeah, all kinds of voices. I'm still preparing that beautiful Icelandic accent. It's still not there, but I'm working on it. Sometimes it comes out of my mouth without realizing, but it's there. It's coming. But these two are going to help me with that short story. And no, the British guy is not the villain because of being British. I actually had to, for legal purposes, so you cannot sue me. You cannot sue me. It was inspired. This is something that I do, and I am a very villainous writer in that sense. I do write people that I know in real life, and I kill them off, and it's delicious. And I went all villainous there. Mm-hmm. So I do have to, switch up the names, switch up the countries, switch up appearance, even sometimes a little bit. But yeah, and this is something that happened. That story is a very personal thing. This is the other thing why I don't show my face. I am a very personal writer. and I don't understand why people wouldn't put their heart in their stories, and it's just like a quick book thing. I have never understood that concept, but apparently we are surrounded by that in current trends of publishing. This stream is getting me in so much trouble. We have the KM drama, we have the me throwing shite at agents of all kind.
Get off your bum, throw more shit at him.
This is mostly me.
What are you doing? Throw this shit! Throw this shit! Ah!
Yeah.
He's wide open.
He's down, shit in his eyes.
Oh, no.
You please enlighten us all with your fake Danish accent. Oh my god!
With my fake Danish accent?
Yes.
I was going for Burgess Meredith, but okay.
What am I going to do with my fake Danish accent?
I don't know. Just entertain us a little bit.
I am not your monkey. I do not dance for you.
I know. Sorry. Yeah, but just hyping up your voices and your talents, because that will be a great. I also noticed that there are a lot of writers in this platform, and in these and all social media in general, they always have like a side thing. They not only write books, especially when you're a new author, because nobody cares about you because you're new. You have to do something else to, survive. And yeah, and I was thinking
that some agents will typically actually like if you have something really weird, because it's better to have something that really strikes out and can be marketable, all rather than something that's too vanilla. If you go up to an agent and dare them like, oh, I have something that you will never publish, that might actually get their attention.
Are you sure about that?
That's what I've been told in one instance. So I'm working off one data point.
It happens sometimes, but it's a sort of false data set. If you take the amount of times that happens, it looks encouraging, but then if you compare it to the amount of times it doesn't, it's a rare occurrence.
It is a
that's
very
not to
rare
say
occurrence.
It doesn't happen, just that it's very rare.
I'm gonna say this because I'm not in the.
Pardon me, someone at my door.
Ooh, okay, Sean. We're probably gonna wrap this up, I guess, because Sean has to go, I suppose. But I'm just gonna tell you, Marco, you haven't seen the quantity of literary agents that are like, we want own voices, we want diversity, we want main characters who are diverse. We want. Yeah. It's Twitter is collapsing with all the we want diversity wish lists, and then I query them because they say they want diversity, and I'm like, hey, I'm very diverse. Hi, I'm all the diversity that you always wanted and more. And they are like, oh, I don't connect with this story, and I'm like, okay, bitch.
Example potentially. Like something that comes to my mind with that is, like I said before, Swedish film industry is very, it has a very specific checklist. If you're not this and not this, then you're just not going to get any kind of movie deal or anything. But there was one case where we had this TV show called Jordskott, translated into like Earthshot or Earth Shatter or something. Which is all about this. It starts off with this girl who's like a cop or what's the English word in negotiator, and she loses her child mysteriously, and it's very dark, very gray and bleak, very typical of any Swedish thriller. But then right at the end, it's like, wait a minute, the girl comes back, but she's got like weird tendrils and druid the things coming out of her eyes or something.
Oh,
so
yeah, very Swedish, very Swedish.
Yeah, my point is that if they want diversity, I don't think they typically mean that. They still want the very same kind of stories, but if you can sort of twist, you can add it like a twist. You have a story within a story. You start off with the cookie cutter things that everyone expects, but then as you go along, things start to go a little weird.
That was my plan. That was because I have two protagonists, and one of them is like super fully able white straight guy, the typical, the usual, the straight white guy who has nothing diverse about him except that he was born in space, but it's a sci-fi, it's normal. But then there is another character who is very diverse, and those two are a contrasting protagonistic force. I mean, both of them are protagonists, but then I hear agents and I just don't connect with this story, and I'm like, I suppose sci-fi is out. That could also be a possibility, that science fiction is not really a trend at the moment, I suppose.
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
unfortunate, because I think there is plenty of potential, since sci-fi is all about, talking about what future technology might do, and we are living in a time where future technology is looking really interesting and weird at the moment.
Yeah, but so that's what's happening. It's just that sci-fi is just not what they want now. So what would you say? And for me and for other sci-fi writers, so should we just sit and wait until they decide that it's time for sci-fi again, or?
Oh no, I'm not sure about that. Like Sean said, and you said, the book community or the publishers tend to be 1 year behind in terms of trends and whatnot. So sometimes you just gotta take that shot and hope that you're the trendsetter, the one who actually makes the new thing a popular thing. No, it's a long shot, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Thank you. Gotta get those mammoths back. I don't know. I don't know. No, not sure. Lindsay Ellis has a what? What is she talking about, honey?
Lindsay Ellis is a prominent YouTuber and apparently has a book out.
Oh, well, but exactly, she's a big. That's another thing I want to touch upon. She is a big booktuber, so she has a big platform.
Big booktuber.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to the case of Jenna Moresi, for example, that she started off, she self-published her thing, she went bigger and bigger, and when she was big enough, then agents and publishers were knocking on her door like, we want to represent you, and Jenna was like, nah, I can do my thing, thank you. And I respect her for that, because she's like, I already did my shit on my own. I mean, I don't need you anymore. I have my own platform, I have my own thing, and she's doing great. But you see what I mean? Like, there's a lot of I'm very villainous today. There's a lot of laziness in the sense that they're going to go for the big numbers and people who already have an established following and a big platform. And then we have books like Zenith. And that's the sci-fi that gets published sometimes. I mean, then, for example, we have some, for a better and happier and more positive sci-fi publishing example, we have Andy Weir. Andy Weir is a genius, so he can write whatever sci-fi he wants because he will do great. But he started off self-publishing that thing on his own website, and people were donating dollars, like donating via PayPal or whatever. Because
and I assume he's already famous for sci-fi? I'm not entirely familiar with him.
No, okay. Andy Weir started off self-publishing his sci-fi book, The Martian. The Martian was self-published. Yes. So it was his first. I mean, he just wrote what he thought would be something that he wanted to read. It was so good, so he self-published it. And then when he was so big that he made it on Amazon, then he was taken by by agencies, and the movie and everything happened. Another case of that would be Becky Chambers with the Wayfarer series that also started as self-published, and then it became so big that someone took her. So this is something that I am noticing specifically in the sci-fi genre, is that you have to really just go on your own way, self-publish, and if you make it as a self-published, then people will take you. And as someone who is,
you're a safe bet then.
Yeah, exactly. So as someone who is under the poverty line, I am
Me?
both of us.
Hello.
Hi, all of us.
Hello.
All of us.
We're
Okay.
all poor.
Then
We're all poor. Someone write an opera
Then it-
about us.
then it feels like the only way out for people like us, the very poor folk who cannot afford self-publishing in a professional way, because you have to hire an editor, a copy editor, a proofreader, a cover designer, a marketing thing, a marketing plan, an Amazon ads plan, blah, 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 blah. The budget is huge. There are billions of AuthorTube videos on how much does it cost to self-publish. So I don't even watch them because for what? I mean, I just don't want to suffer with that. So
Slight shout out. I recently
Yes.
was on the channel of A Time to Share Books from a South African booktuber, and she made a video recently about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which was
Who is this?
let's see, she's South African. I'm afraid of actually pronouncing her name. It's not something that I know how to pronounce, but some ideas that came up in that review was basically, if you want to be a good writer, you will obviously write good, but if you want to be a bestseller, you gotta work on being a seller. So
Yeah.
you do have to somewhat diversify your skills and not only assume that being a good writer will get you somewhere, which is, of course, sadly proven by these people that you brought up who are not exactly the best of quality.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to be a bestseller, but for people who are like newer authors and they dream and they go querying and the rejections start coming in. I have a video idea. I don't know if it's good or not, but I wanted to make a video of tips for querying with depression, because it is something that I am going through and I have my coping mechanisms, because rejection hurts everybody, but someone with depression, honey, oof. I mean, I have grown, and I wanted to make a video on that because it's been a whole thing. I mean, I have changed from my first query until now, and I have coping strategies and so on. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I will do that because I thought of it. I already have a video on writing with depression, so I thought. But I see that the publishing, for traditional publishing, it really is the path of least resistance. People don't want to tell you that. Alexa Dunn will never tell you that because I guess it's not her etiquette, and she's already published, so she has to stay put. Shout out to Alexa Dunn. I love you, but you are not telling us the whole thing, honey, because you can't, and I respect that. I'm not published, and after this stream, I'm definitely never gonna be. but the marketing is there. You have to sell yourself.
Yeah, I mean, when I was...
you have to prove to them that you are a safe bet. Yeah,
I mean, I was
Yes.
on my MA course when a tutor who will remain unnamed for legal purposes found out that I was a native of this part of England, because not that the voice would give it away, but I'm northern working class scum, and of my very particular cocktail of mental health diagnoses. Let's AuthorTube allow us. But I couldn't understand why I wasn't writing the whole, it's grim up north, isn't it awful being working class, and isn't it awful having a mental illness. He said, you should just write that and you'll get published. So I went ahead and wrote a story about an old lady who gets turned into a robot. Because fuck y'all. I will not be defined by these purely arbitrary, nor will I accept. I mean, it's going to act to my detriment ultimately. I know it will, but I don't have it in me to dance to that particular tune. I'll be taken as I am or not.
We were talking about that.
I won't write it.
I can't be forced to care.
it's like what I said, that I don't want to write the blind person another Helen Keller style memoir because I'm blind and I have depression and I have this thing, and
What if it's a villainous memoir?
that would be fun, but I don't know if I can do that yet. I haven't killed anybody yet.
That we
You
know
are
of.
planning to kill somebody.
Oh, if you're watching, darling, if you're watching, I haven't killed you yet. I'm being so sarcastic lately. It's pure sarcasm, but maybe there's a hint of truth.
It's like we always use the worst possible examples of these sort of things. I mean, you're saying about them. If you're going to be a blind writer, you write about being blind, and they use all of these examples. Well, just to use your particular example, they never say John Milton, who was completely blind when he wrote Paradise Lost.
Mm-hmm.
He dictated it. He dictated it to his daughter, and that's got nothing to do with his blindness.
He also had
Awesome.
One of the greatest works. Pardon, Marco?
He also had something to prove.
Yeah, he really did, and it's tragic that he didn't prove it. Well, politically speaking, anyway, he had a major falling out with the protectorate. Pity, really.
I really have to get to read that book because I read the book that was inspired by, but I haven't got a chance to read Paradise Lost yet. That's on my TBR. It's in my to-do list, but I haven't been there yet. So I would love to, see what he did when he was completely blind. But you see, no one brings that up. I had no freaking idea. No one brings it up because the book has nothing to do with that. And then I kind of play on that trope of, I am a blind writer, and I do. I mean, most of the blind people that I know play on that role because we really have to. But at the same time, I am not falling into that category of the blind inspirational person because I'm not inspiring. And you look at the reckless mess that I am on the stream. I am everything but inspiring. But
Reject the romanticism.
Yeah, exactly. I am not here to romanticize this thing because that's something I see a lot in media, and it really it enlightens my Eyjafjallajökull, and then we have volcanic ash for days because then we have horrible things happening to disabled people because we are very inspiring. We are not. So I am like a subversion of the trope, I guess, but still I am very unwanted by agents. So I'm like, what the crap am I doing wrong? And after a while I start to feel that I have no talent. So another thing that I want to say, for like very beginning writers, like you're just starting out and you're writing on your own in your little cave, honey, you really, really have to find your tribe, your siblings, your whatever, and stick together like glue, because you are going to need that support like never before if you're going the traditional route, because the newer people with small followings that you're really just starting out, I'm sorry, but you have no chance. You really at the beginning you rarely you're going to be a unicorn if you do have a chance, because I am seeing a lot of AuthorTube videos lately, and AuthorTubers bigger than me. We have Lindsay Bouquet and Holly Davis and all these amazing people that give amazing writing advice, so they know their craft, they know what they're doing, and they are still like, I'm querying and I gave up because I have queried long enough this thing, I'm going to move on, and I'm failing at querying. I saw 2 videos of that just this week, and then I see it among my own people, and I'm like, this is really the path of least resistance. It doesn't matter what genre they are writing in, how strong their following is. It's sometimes, so if you're a new writer and you're starting out, sorry to crush your bubble, but you have very little chance in today's market and how the landscape looks. I don't care what Alexa Dawn says, but you really have little to no chance. And while you grow as a writer,
The good news is at least that BookTube and AuthorTube is a heavily supportive group to go into if you want to keep rising up a bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. This is why if you're planning to become a writer in the future and work on your craft and work until people consider you worthy of publishing, if you're going the traditional route, I'm being so harsh, I'm getting in so much trouble. But it's the truth, and I'm going to speak it. And you need support. You're going to need a safety net. Don't write alone. Don't stay alone.
It's my other problem with the sunshine, rainbows, candy and daisies attitude towards writing. It overlaps a particular truth of writing that I think really should be pointed out more and more, which is it's fucking shit. It's awful being a writer. George Orwell had this line that writing a book is like getting over a long, painful illness. Nobody would do it if they didn't feel some deep need and compulsion to do it. It's a deeply unpleasant state of affairs. And yet, because there's nothing else I can do.
Well, we can cherry pick some parts. When I get that inspiration, I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. It always makes it worth it.
I get things like that when the certain that very particular alchemy of characters talking to one another, and it just becomes the most natural thing. It feels more like transcribing than writing. And having finally bloody finished it is a wonderful sensation. But again on my MA course, I met with a lot of agents and a lot of publishers giving us the other side of it, showing us how that worked. And I think if the majority of people knew just what went on in those offices and those publishing houses, they wouldn't even bother, because I have it on very good authority that a fair amount of the time, they'll just read the first 2 lines of the query letter and throw it aside. Because the slush pile is so ridiculously big, they just need to find any way to boil it down. So when I see things like people saying, oh, the spelling and the grammar doesn't matter. So there are some problems with that idea, but also the agent will throw it away because he or she is looking for the smallest excuse to get rid of it, just to make room.
And I am a blind writer. I have typos. I have grammar. I have spelling issues. I have all the issues that you can think of. I have them. So that could be, and that's why I always hammer myself so hard, because I know. And then everybody says, oh, but you don't have to think this way. It's not like that. I know of this and that writer, and their spelling is awful. And I'm like, yeah, they are already established, honey. They established themselves in the 80s and 90s when this was not a problem.
Yeah, it's the most ridiculous delusion, because the act of writing, indeed the act of any representational art, is the means of taking the intangible and welding it into the real world, which means that the real world must be considered as a component of that equation. Those laws do exist. Those rules are in play, and it's a fucking nightmare. I'm a bit salty on this subject. As Dal well knows, I'm pretty convinced that I am just being outright ignored. And here's one thing I will say. I've said this to you, Dal, but I'll say it for the benefit of anyone in the audience who is, for one reason or another, interested in what I've got to say. I have discovered through trial and error over the years that there is such a thing as a better quality of failure, because I'm more than accepting of rejection because I know how this game works. What I can't bear is the idea of being ignored. That to me is very, very rude. But I once submitted a short story to an online magazine and it was rejected, but it came back with about 3 or 4 paragraphs of full feedback. And I thought, so even though I was rejected, there was definitely a better quality of rejection in there, because at least I was taken seriously. Unless the sinister idea is to simply try and empty out the field to try and discourage as many people from writing so that their job becomes easier?
Well, I that's a possibility. That is a possibility that they might just discourage everybody because it will make their lives a little bit easier. Because after all, they just need their commissions. It's a possibility, and very much so.
I do feel that comment about everyone always finding some small excuse to throw it away, or even I'm not entirely sure what their logic was, if it was completely just what they said, but I did do one, like a pitch with one movie producer in connection with the whole course that I was on. Because part of it was that we get to pitch our manuscript once it's finished at the end of the year. And I had written a alien invasion from the perspective of the aliens, because I'm always of the opinion that... Because I always feel like in all alien invasion movies, like if you look at Independence Day or Signs, you get all of these aliens who just come down and there's no real thought behind, like, why do they want to be here? Why are they doing this? Or why would they want to take over us? So I was like, how can I think of a good reason for anyone to want to take over us? And then I went from there.
We in the end, it just turns out that we wanted to open a tourism agency, an intergalactic tourism agency. That's all we wanted.
There's a fantastic movie.
No,
there's a fantastic B movie called This Island Earth on a similar subject.
And what happened to your pitch?
What happened was basically, well, on the one hand, the one thing I could learn from it was that I didn't really include the ending because I was thinking that, well, that's a spoiler. I can't just tell it everything. But no, they do expect you to tell pretty much everything. But the thing that stood out to me most was that they said that, well, how do these aliens look? And I'm like, well, they're kind of humanoid, like a grayish, like triangular irises and things like that. They're like, I'm not sure if that's alien enough. Aren't they like less humanoid? And I'm like, wait, what? You want them to be even weirder? You want them to be even more queer? That's a first.
Yeah.
And
they
do also like
this.
Star Trek. You get all kinds of humanoid aliens all the time in sci-fi. Like, come on.
Yeah, it is true. Some people, it just depends on who you bump with. Like this particular person you were pitching to, they wanted something more like arachnoids or something. I don't know what they wanted, but
I don't know how I would make. Well, I guess it's possible, but it's not how I picture it in my mind. God damn it!
Yeah. That's true. I cannot really describe things visually, so that's another thing where I am screwed. And I understand. Like when I'm speaking about all these things, it's not that I'm just salty. I'm not even salty. It's like I have always known this. I expected it, but I have had. I'm sweet and sour. Yeah, I am like that. It's true, and it's just that I am this living example that it's not rainbows and sunshines, and this is why I am speaking up now. It's not like, oh, I am salty against this and that agent. I don't care. I don't know that people. I cannot be angry at someone in particular if I don't even know this person. I just know their name, they are an agent, and they say that they want diversity and yet they don't. So that's all I know, and I'm only speaking up that this is the case that I have to go through. So if you happen to be a writer like me, sorry, but you're gonna struggle triple the hardest compared to writers who are not as diverse. That's the truth. That's what happens. This is why we have an Anthony Doerr writing about a blind girl in the World War II episodes of whatever. And then there's me, who is an actual blind girl, and here we are. So it is just a reality. And like Sean said, they are going to find the tiniest excuse to reject. And I have plenty of excuses to be rejected still. So it is a reality. It is not discouraging.
And there is a lot of competition.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition.
As I say, that slush pile is enormous. So they are.
Yeah.
They're ruthless with some of the bigger ones. I understand have team. Basically, they gather their interns and they'll have a big room and they'll put all the interns in there and they will go through the slush pile with a no, yes, and a maybe tray. And in that respect, the odds open up a little bit further because you've got a second set of eyes taking some of the strain that would otherwise fall on one person. But that depends from one establishment to another. There's no uniformity within because while there's the big 5 publishing houses, what they all break down into, and then the different types of agents that go along with it, none of whom, certainly not in this country, will accept unsolicited publishing houses rather will accept unsolicited manuscripts. You are obliged to play a game that has different rules at every alternate round.
It's a chess game.
But you got it's a chess game on a round board with an extra set of pieces.
And all the pieces
I once got
customizable ways to move.
Yeah, and every second piece actually has a melting temperature, and the board is heated.
I once got a rejection from an agent's assistant, and it was so automatic, it was so automated that even had I knew it was the assistant, it was even signed as the assistant of this agent. I was like, oh, okay, don't even bother, honey. It was very actually funny because I took that rejection as a lesson. I was like, oh, look, but this is what actually happens. Like you say, the slush pile is so big that you just get rejected by an intern even. So it is a reality. And in those cases, you really, really have to find your support net. And in order to be able to find your
voice your stories.
To advise you, to support you, to make you get off your bum, and and do all those things, but also to be able to find your support net. It has to be like, I consider these gentlemen over here who are way smarter than me, I consider them my writer brothers. Like I'm giving them that title. It's a big thing. Like I have writer friends, which I love and adore, and then I have writer brothers and sisters, and that's like a step further. So, why did that happen? Yeah, why did that happen? That's how I operate. I'm not saying everybody operates like this. It's just this alien and my alien brain doing what it does. But how did that happen? Well,
you're gonna start a mafia. Welcome to the family.
First of all, I have to say I like their voices, blind person thing, and I also like I from what I saw in their platform, from what I saw from them, that has nothing to do with their writing per se, but from what I saw, I said, hey, these 2 people are really like my kin. I wanna hang out with these people more, and you cannot possibly be able to find your tribe, like your genuine writing support group, if you are just candies and rainbows and sunshines. And I'm throwing it out there. It is good to be polite. It is good to be nice, to be fair, to be respectful. Respect is a big thing, but dishonesty is not gonna take you. Yeah, but exactly. Dishonesty is not getting you anywhere.
Because the moment that someone pricks a hole in that little air bubble, it's gonna pop, and then you have to start over from scratch, as opposed to build them from the honesty right away, which will give you if someone pokes you, it's like, yeah, well, that's how it's gonna be.
So yeah, that's it, and that's why I created this stream. And I hope, if you guys agree and if you guys are okay with that, because different time zones and different everything, jobs, lives, families, shit like that. But we could do this more often if you want. We can do different thumbnails, and next time, Marco, we're not a basketball team. You should have told me that. The boys being boys didn't tell me about the thumbnail picture. Now it seems like we are really tall people, when in truth the only tall one is Marco.
I know. I've never been so happy.
Inflating your ego.
I know,
No.
and my ego has a good couple of punctures in it, but if I inflate it quickly enough, then it starts to go.
Come on.
So it needs to
You
be a
guys are
constant stream.
you guys are
have to be
amazing.
open to the holes in your ego, like a plastic bag in the wind.
You guys are awesome. So if we can do this more often, if someone else wants to join this villainous trifecta, I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm
We're building
thinking
Join the
culture,
mafia.
that's what we're doing.
join the mafia, yeah. So yeah, I mean, thank you. And like this, let's just wrap it up because we're on the 2-hour mark, and people can catch this on the replay anyway. If you have any questions, there's a replay, and you can leave comments under the replay, and either of us will answer to that. I will, of course, redirect because the video is on my platform. Oh, that's the other thing I was thinking. We could stream on all of you, like one stream on Marco's channel, one stream on your channel, Sean, one on another on mine. We could rotate this thing and just have like a topic or answer questions, or for anyone who's a newer writer who wants to be traditionally published, because apparently this is the 3 of us.
Certainly.
And I don't know, we can have more streams like that. I don't know, what do you say? But that will be for a future project. For now, Sean, tell us, who are you? What do you do? Your channel, blah blah.
I am whoever you want me to be for the right price.
Okay, Sean.
But ostensibly, I am one biological entity occupying a YouTube channel called What Now, where tonight, for anyone who was interested, we will be celebrating 110 subscribers with a little Q&A session. Won't that be exciting, boys and girls? No, it won't. But
I already,
will be happy.
I haven't.
You've already done the wee. I can't go that high. My voice will come out.
I have a sign on my door that says "Do not disturb. My brother is streaming." That seriously.
My actual sister used to have one of them, but it said, "Don't disturb. My brother is screaming."
I think it's already disturbed.
Just a little. I'm okay now.
I'll be there, Marco. You will be sleeping when he's streaming. You are the only rational person of this chat. You are the only one who sleeps at normal times. Good for you. I am jealous. Sort of. So tell us, Marco, who are you? What do you do? Your channel stuff.
I'm the half Swedish, half crazy thing guy who likes to make 2D animations and reviews of books, as well as discuss tropes, or rather, I will be doing those in the near future. And
AuthorTube things?
Yes, as I said, that is pretty much what I'm going to be doing. And
awesome.
And like my name suggests, I'm all about philosophy and exploring tropes, themes, ideas, and that stuff.
All right, and I am. Oh yeah, please tell us your tagline because I love it.
Let's see. And remember, intelligence is sexy, so be the sexy you. Read a book.
Yes, love it. Since I heard that, I said subscribe.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even think twice. I was like, he said that beauty the first time I heard it. I was like, he has to be my brother now. And we have been friends ever since. So, and I am, you're tired of me already. I am Dulce Silverno, the partially blind alien from a distant galaxy who is an own voices author. I write mostly sci-fi, and that's why I will never get published. and I also like to explore other genres like thriller, fantasy, romance, whenever that occurs. I'm probably going to stop doing romance, but who knows. And I also write a couple of poetry here and there because I also like poetry, like you do when you're blind, because I know about other blind writers who write poetry. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Nicole. But yeah, this is my channel. This is what I do. I will show you them. I will definitely link you to them. So yeah, so this is my channel. This is what I do. If you like this stream, leave us a comment if you have any other questions or doubts, or if you want to start the AuthorTube drama 2.0. Hi, Alexa.
Shame if you got some drama on your channel.
I already have. You haven't seen the Stoffers video. Woo! That okay. Anyway, but yeah, that's my channel. Love to have you here. Thank you so much, you two beautiful and awesome writer brothers. Love your content. You are super underrated talent. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank you for bringing me on.
subscribe to their channels because I have laser beams. Okay, so that was us, and I will see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Nobody does like it.